Hello, it's me, Pandy from Pandyman Entertainment. And today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things. So, the first one is Trench Offensive. So, Trench Offensive has got a new supplement, and that is a tank called Toast. A tank called Toast is very fun, very fast, very fun. It does add a couple of missions, they're not great. But they'll work for tanks. Just a little bit of story, sort of narrative wise. But also they are very much more just about adding tanks to the game. The whole supplement is that, so that's really good. I think it's great. So that's now on the line. That is a digital only format at the moment. However, there will be a physical as well, so that'd be quite good. So I'm quite happy with that. We are now working on a 2-month delay for new releases, which is not a bad thing, really. If I was a government contractor, I'd be doing really well. Let's just say that. I'm not a government contractor, so we won't worry about that. But I will say now, that's very exciting, is that I'm now starting work on Dwarven Holidays. Now, like fully. So, Dwarven Holidays is, of course, our fantasy one, and that will have some really fun things. I might even add some images if I can figure out how to do that on my phone, because that's how it records stuff. So yeah, that's really exciting, and we're really, really keen to show that off. So I'll be doing a bit more development work on that, talking through the sort of the structure. So the book wise, it's going to be the opening part is going to be very much a story that allows you to learn the rules in a quick and easy way. Because that's kind of our USP. We are also going to focus on it being more solo as well. I'm personally very pro solo wargaming. I think I write pretty good solo war games. Maybe the best. Greenland. Sorry, I had to do it. So yeah, so it's really exciting that we sort of have that. So I'm quite keen to sort of explore that more. So there'll be a nice little story, intro, how to do the game, how to play each thing, how to make a character, and then it will move on to the next part, which is sort of a summary of what you've just learnt. So you can just go, oh, well, just quickly reference it. Because I think that's important. When you don't want to have to keep relearning the rules over and over again. You want to be able to just go, rule, yes, see, boom, problem solved. And then we'll have the missions. So the story will then catch up again, and you can do some missions. You can start your own, and that's for me very important. That you have stuff to do afterwards, and it will be more like threat level than trench. It is a solo war game primarily. The miniatures, you'll be able to buy your own, make your own miniatures. You'll be able to adapt other people's miniatures, kit bash them, whatever. And yeah, I think it'll be really exciting. A fantasy game, a bit like Hero Quest, or even Dungeon Saga by Mantic, something like that. But it's solo. It's a truly solo game. Think Frostgrave as well. That's another really good example of where it can be done quite well. And so I'm really excited about this game. Now, obviously, I'm restructuring it from where it had been more trench offensive. It's now going more threat level. And there's some design choices I need to now make. And I think realistically, it's going to be out in time for September, mid-September maybe. I'm hoping that is the case, which is a bit longer than originally. So originally it was going to be between the wonderful, what was the time period? It was April to June, basically, in time for Salute and UK Game Expo. But That's not happening anymore. One, we're not going to either of those. Not that I must admit, I love Salute. It's my favourite show. Other than maybe Partisan, Hammerhead, Chilcon, other Partisan, Recon, Bedford, Dicini. No particular order, of course. UK Game Expo. I'm just really naming shows now. I really love all of them. And there's something about meeting you all, and that's what I'm hoping to get back to. Not this year, maybe next year. I'm hoping to get back to that. I'd love to probably try and get one more show. So I've got two shows at the moment. One of them is confirmed, and that is Dicini. So that's May the 3rd in Norwich. That is what I would consider our local show. I really enjoy that show. I want to do another one, probably the tail end of the year. What that will be is interesting at the moment. I don't know. I really enjoy the Partisans. I think they're really good fun, and they're a brilliant sort of case. Especially as I want to try and show people the game. I found getting it out there and showing people I need to actually build the terrain for it. So if you're on the tabletop, go look there, because that's where I'm probably going to update my design philosophies and stuff on there, because they have a really nice project management software on their website that can show people what you're doing. So especially for building the actual terrain itself and sort of the design concepts behind it and why I'm doing those, I think that would be really interesting. Now, we don't use AI either, which is we've never used AI. You can tell because I spell bad. That's spell, not smell. No, I do sweat a lot. So the idea is that we are going to try and not use AI some more. Funny enough, not that AI isn't. It's not. AI is a good tool, and it should be used as such. However, for art and stuff, I like the idea of doing concept, but not when I actually want a physical character I want to use as commercial product. That's the thing. I have used AI creatively to sort of inspire things, but not so much to actually make a finished product. It's more of just a reference photo for the actual finished product. I found that's a really positive way of doing things. However, we don't use AI as a rule. However, I am making an AI that you I know Easter City doesn't like AI, which will be very much for Dwarven Holidays, and we'll have the monster movements and stuff, and it will work on a standard deck, basically a standard playing deck, so you can sort of have that randomness. However, you can also play it sort of the old natural way as well. So we won't be doing. We've got an AI system for threat level as well, and that we actually do cards for that now as well. That's a lot of work, and while I like work, I do think realistically, this is a much nicer way of doing it. And you can then sort of go, actually, I've got these monsters in my collection. I'll assign this to this one, and then boom, or roll a dice or something like that, so that you've got that ability to make your own missions as well. You don't have to go, oh, it has to be this. Don't get me wrong. There's some really good incentives to do it that way as well. But because it's only really going to be a book, it's more interesting that way, I think. So yeah, there's a number of things that I'm going to update you on in the future. Stuff that I've personally really enjoyed doing with Dwarven Holidays, and I've been playing it pretty constantly. Me and my son actually is getting so old now, but we've been playing it pretty constantly. Just the sort of the trial, the beginning sector, because you can test most of the stuff at that point, the rules wise, especially as we already have a pretty solid rules. It is really just a reskin with some tweaks. You know, Frankenstein's monster much. Um, so yeah, no, we have lots of exciting stuff to happen with it as well. So I am reaching out to wonderful YouTubers, and I'm hoping that some of them will come back to me and go, "Yeah, I'll have a free copy." Now, I did watch Big Lee's video over at. I'll probably link it in the description. I like Big Lee. Now, I'm a massive fan of his. Quite literally. He probably was a bit surprised when I gushed over him. Oh my god! I had a salute last time. My pink top. Not this isn't pink. This is burgundy or wine coloured. So we had. So he made a really good video. Like, is free products killing the industry? Now, he does make a good, valid case that some of it is. Go watch it yourself. That's all I'm saying. Really good. Synopsis. I think realistically, it depends on the YouTuber and their sort of feelings behind it. I do think some of the industry, yeah. I don't get me wrong. There's always a wink and a nudge, and give us an old impartial. We haven't really gone down that route before. We don't get me wrong. We had War Games Illustrated, Full Trench Offensive. We had miniature war games. We had given 5 copies out of the original starter set. Now, I won't name names of the ones that didn't review it, but we had, I can't remember who. I did try to force it onto what is now Misfit Hobbies as well, but he wouldn't take one. And that was actually just because I really like him. I really like Sam. He's such a nice guy. That actually that was kind of the reason more. I just kind of really liked him anyway. I didn't need a review from him. He literally could have had one for free. He didn't take it, mainly because he had to fly home. And I've kept offering it, and he keeps saying no, which is weird. So yeah, no, and I'm really excited though to get Dwarven Holidays out, because I think, let's be honest, we all need that holiday time. And yeah, so exciting times. We are going to try and release more stuff as well. We've got some miniatures lined up, especially for the tank crew. We've got 4 miniatures for that, 2 nurses. I'm really excited about the nurses. They look brilliant. I know I'm floating my own boat, and because I didn't design them. But they look absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited to get World War One nurses out there. There's actually a really fun story about World War One nurses. So, in Catastrophe by Max Hastings, I think he tells the story of so there's 3 Germans lying on the ground, quite badly injured. There's a machine gun nest from the German trenches just sort of yonder. British ambulance turns up, nurse and a driver. They get out. He takes 2 of them away. He can't fit any more in. So he says, you stay here with this last German who's promised not to shoot her, and he'll come back for them. And so she's working on him, making sure he's stable, very important part. And that's when he goes, "You're going to need to put this on." And it's his helmet. And so she goes, "Okay," puts it on. And the machine gun nest had been chatting about shooting her. Once the ambulance had gone, they were like, "Oh, I could take her out." And he was like, No. If you take my helmet, put it on you, you'll be fine." So that was a really interesting little story. Because both sides, at the end of the day, they let's be honest, if the machine gun fired, he would have been dead as well, really, realistically. But no, nurses played an incredible part in even on front lines. You think they didn't have guns, they didn't have weapons, not even knives and stuff. So they played an integral part in that sort of battle as such. So for life and death, both sides. the English or the British and American and French nurses wouldn't just go, wow, this guy's a German. Well, some of them probably did. Let's be honest, statistics, are what they are. But most of them were there to save lives, and it didn't matter which side they were on. That they could save them, they would save them. Don't get me wrong, that is a massive simplification. But yes, no. For me, I think getting off topic, getting those nurses out would be brilliant. Getting the tank crew out as well for Toast. You can buy them actually from Skytrax, which I know is owned by Rival. As such, not that anyone's really a rival of a hobby shop. Let's be honest. They're not a rival. They don't even consider me a person. Apparently. Allegedly. So yes, no. Realistically, I think you need to look forward to the future. So I'm yawning. Very tired today. Not maybe enough oxygen coming in. So really excited about the future. Now, we are pulling back from shows. That was because, one, I wasn't writing enough, and two, I don't know. I was quite unwell at the time. I was mentally unwell. If I'm honest with you, which implies that I haven't been. I was very physically and mentally unwell earlier this year. Now that is getting better. That is getting better, but guys, and girls, everyone should take consideration of their mental health, and yeah. So if you do need help, reach out, because I'm terrible, but I know the places to go. At least in the UK, if you're in the States or something, I don't know if mine will help, but Google can help, and they're very insistent that you don't kill yourself. Ooh. Probably should edit that last part out, but yeah. That's kind of the logic behind why we're stepped back a little bit. Also, other opportunities are coming up, and I'm taking those opportunities. So yeah, hopefully in the future, if people ever get their bum out of gear. So yeah, or into gear, more importantly. So that's the idea really. It's about trying to sort of figure that out. I'm hoping to do 2 shows this year. I think I've already mentioned that. I've done quite a few takes. They all kind of blur into one. So I want to try and do one latter part of the year, but we have got Dicini, so that's good. So yeah, really good stuff. All the good news. I walked in the room. I was like, wow, what a guys walked in the room. I did a very good impression. I want the Greenland. I want the China. I want Britain. Stop attacking me. Yeah. Just need to cut around. That's a joke. Get away. On that hilarious note, I think I'm going to leave it there before I incriminate myself some more. Tally ho, bombs away, roger that, and have a great time.